Yo, and welcome back to the Banter Boys podcast. My name is Sanji. With me is Raas and Ryan. How you doing, boys?
Yo, I'm good, and it is international break. I feel relaxed, I feel at ease, and welcome back by popular demand, Raas.
Welcome. Thank you. Sorry, Ryan, you had to jump in for a couple of weeks there. Life was just, not hectic. It was just weird to kind of get on the same schedule. But I was like, man, it's international break. I don't have anything going on this week. I will not miss this for anything. So I made sure, I was like, boys, let's go. Tuesday at 5. Ryan, what time is yours? Because we are on like daylight saving times now too. So even now, Ryan and I aren't in the same time zone either. But yeah, happy to be back. Happy to missed both of you, obviously. And then, yeah. I missed this part of my schedule.
Miss you too, boo.
Yeah, man, miss you so much. Listen, 3 different time zones, man. Things are getting wild, yo. Things are getting wild. By the way, Ryan, you've got a song for us, don't you?
Do I?
I think you do. Do you have the lyrics? Do we need background music? Do we?
I think we need all.
Shit. Are we supposed to do vocals?
I think we need all the words to make this sound better. Yes.
Oh man!
Wait, what song are we doing first? Then we can kind of decide on how we can join in or not join in or encourage.
So I think there were 3 suggestions that came in, right? And for the listeners who didn't follow last episode, Sanjit beat me in a head-to-head OFPL matchup.
You're welcome.
I think spanked me is more like it. I think it was handily beat me, right? And the host or the guy who's running that league said, there should be some kind of forfeit for the loser. And we decided, the loser will sing a song on the pod. And then we got 3 suggestions. What was it? It was Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On. Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. And John Legend, something by John Legend. All of Me?
Yeah, All of Me. Yeah. That sounds about right.
I mean, it is kind of the holiday period, in my opinion. If the voting is kind of amongst the 3 of us, my thing is stick with Mariah Carey, for Christmas joy.
I think mine will go to Celine.
Wait, I feel like he doesn't get a choice in this. He lost.
Oh man, no.
I mean, in my defense, I also kind of forgot to put the poll out for the listeners to actually select the song for him to go with. But Raas, do you have some sort of instrumentals that you can kind of play in the background?
Nah, man. I just want to hear Ryan sing. Why dilute Ryan's singing experience?
Guys, I am now sipping my beer.
Hey, well, what are you drinking?
Just Carey.
Oh, nice local beer, man. All right, let me crack mine then.
By the way, are you repping a Trini t-shirt right now?
I definitely am.
Nice.
I wore it today on campus, and some guy was like, yo, that's a nice shirt. I'm like, I know, buddy. I know.
Yeah, I just saw the collar there because you're wearing a hoodie, but it had to be.
Exactly. Gotta rep. Wait, so is this song happening? Why are you deviating from the main topic?
I don't even remember how... I haven't actually heard it for the season yet. It's crazy.
Okay, what's the song again that we're going with?
All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Okay, all right. Ryan, I hope you have the lyrics ready.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to pull up the
background?
The instrumentals right now. Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan, just play the song, just sing it, Ryan. Just sing it.
Can you guys hear this?
Just yeah. Yeah, I can hear it, kind of.
Yeah, I think I can hear it best on your end.
Oh man, when does it even start?
Ryan, why don't you just do us a sing-along?
Yeah.
Just play the video, and then when Mariah Carey starts singing, you start singing. And then...
Do you need a karaoke version?
No, it's just... Yeah, I'll do the sing-along like Raas was saying. Because you barely will pick up the audio anyhow. Don't want a lot for Christmas. There's just one thing I need. I don't care about the Fantrax points underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own. more than you can ever know. Make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas is Salah.
Yes. I was gonna be like, I'm sure he's talking about Trent or Salah right
Yo,
here.
it
I know I
has to be
would
Salah.
be.
Smashing it. Alright. I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. Okay, yeah, that's enough.
All right.
GG, Ryan. I'm glad I was able to join this one
I know.
when you singing.
We saved it just for you, man. All right, so before we get started, Ross, let's do usual biz. Let's plug ourselves, mention those socials and how they can reach out to us. Wow, butchered that already. And I didn't even start drinking my beer.
Yeah, so you can message us on Twitter, Instagram. Our handle is @BantaB. On the Discord, DraftPL channel, BantaBoys, #6585. And on Reddit, u/Banta_boys. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, and YouTube, all under the name of Banta Boys.
All right, so if this is your first time listening to the Banta Boys podcast, welcome. We typically talk everything fan tracks and sometimes OFPL draft as well. And typically how we do these pods, we have a first half-time pint, and a second half. But we're going to do things a little bit differently. As always, we like to change things up. And it's the international break, like the boys mentioned. So in the first half, we're going to do a Game Week 11 data dump and a league catch-up. See how we did, what moves we made, etc. Then we'll take our halftime pint, like we just mentioned. And in the second half, we're going to go through some Twitter questions. But none of them are going to be fantasy related. So listeners and fans, whoever sent in those fantasy ones, I apologize. We're not going to have enough space or time because of the amount of silly ass questions we got from the other people. And we'll push those to, the next pod that we're going to record next week to kind of, be more relevant for Game Week 12. And then to round things off, we're going to have a pub quiz. We haven't had one of those in a while. And I'm going to host. So it's going to be Ross versus Ryan.
Yeah, bring it.
Looking forward to it. All right. Shall we get started, boys?
Alright, let's go.
Let's do it.
Ay, 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 ay. Fantasy with the Banta Boys.
All right, now the data dump. We look at key passes, shots, accurate crosses, and some other random ones. So starting with key passes, the player that topped Game Week 11 is Matthias Jensen with 7 key passes. Then the next number, 5, by Ross Barkley, Callum Hudson-Odoi, and Reece James. Then the next tier, 4 key passes by T-Bebe. If you don't know who that is, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Buendia, Kevin De Bruyne, Rafinha, Conor Gallagher, and James Ward-Prowse. And finally, the next and last tier we're going to look at is 3 key passes by Gabriel Jesus. I think this is Charlie Good.
Yep.
From Brentford. Have no idea who that guy is.
He came in for Zanka, right?
Ah, okay.
Defender. He's a defender.
Now we have a clue. Yeah, there you go. Jordan Henderson from Liverpool, Elise Malou of Norwich, Alan of Everton, Mbumo, I don't know, however you people pronounce his name, from Brentford, and Leandro Trossard from Brighton. Any comments on that? Ross, I'll start with you.
Man, that Norwich, fantasy inflation is real. Matthias Jensen usually has about 2 or 3, right? And without any assists, had 21 points in this game?
He ain't from Norwich, fam. He's from Brentford.
Yeah, he's playing against Norwich. That's what he.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But against Norwich.
Okay.
The inflation. Yeah, the inflation against Norwich.
Yeah.
Right?
See, I'm an engineer. I don't know these fancy terms.
So it's just one of those things where obviously Norwich won and Norwich but Brentford had more of the ball. They did more of the attacking play. Norwich just kind of got their chances in and scored. And then, and Jensen is also on set pieces, which I figured out. I happened to just pick him up. He was 23% owned and he was free in my league. And I remember you talking about it as I was editing the episode. You're like, bro, like Jensen's only this percent owned. And I went to go see my league. Oh, he's available. I'll pick him up, right? So I didn't even wait for your advice to air. I just used your advice right there before we could air the episode.
So
Man using that inside info. Okay,
so wait, all three
right.
of us own Jensen in one league. Sick.
Hey, yeah, well done. Ryan, you have any comments on the key pass?
Nothing really.
data?
But actually, I did not know Good put up that many key passes as a defender. I think he's only 4 million in FPL too. That's crazy. But those on 5 key passes, all Chelsea boys, yo. You must be feeling good about that.
Definitely. That's the first thing that jumped out at me. I was just happy to also see the likes of JWP kind of back to his normal points giving self. Maybe higher than you would have expected this game week. I think he got around 17 points. But yeah, nothing too surprising, you know? But yeah, happy to be Jensen owners for sure. All right, the next category we're going to look at. Sorry, boys, I'm just so excited to have, full house. I can't control myself. We're going to look at shots and how many of those were on target. So there were a high of 6 shots attempted by one Dan James, and he had 0 of them on target. Then the next number is 5 shots attempted by Sergi Canos of Brentford. He had 2 of them on target. Demarai Gray had 0 of his 5 on target. Rodrigo from Leeds had 2 of his 5 on target, and Leandro Trossard had 3 of his 5 on target. Finally, there were 4 shots attempted by Ross Barkley, who had 0 on target, Cancelo, who had 2 on target, Thiago Silva, who had 0 of his 4 on target, KDB with 1 of his 4 on target, Edouard with 2 of his 4 on target, Sadio Mane with 1 of his 4 on target, arguably should have been 2, missed a very easy chance later on in that West Ham game.
So much hate.
And then Sambi, the Arsenal midfielder, had 2 of his 4 shots on target. Ryan, I'll start with you this time. What stands out to you from this segment?
I mean, I don't know if to call him a flop just yet, but my word, Dan James, 0 shots on target with 6 shots. Has he done anything for Leeds yet? A goal or assist?
No, but he started.
I guess. But I mean, that's only because Bamford's out, right?
Yeah.
Right now, someone between him, Harrison, needs to drop. They're just not performing.
Well, I feel like he's doing more than Harrison.
I guess.
I can't remember the last time I saw Harrison's name on any of our data dumps.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, Dan just strikes me as a flop so far. I mean, I think he has 1 assist. I can't remember more than that. But how are so many people off target this week? What the hell?
Yo, everyone's just preparing for the international break, What kind of stands out to me is Trossard. He now is relishing this false 9 role and starting to put up good numbers. And, I mean, we are all, pretty high on a player like Pascal Gross. And he's now become one of the bench options for Brighton. And it wouldn't surprise me if managers are kind of frustrated because he went in, I want to say maybe as early as the 4th round for some drafts.
Yeah, I think I took him pretty early too. Maybe 4th, 5th.
Ross, what about you? Anything stand out for you in this?
I think the biggest thing is usually we see one player that's always near the top or at the top, and that's Mo Salah. And on this list, he's not there. So that means he had 3 shots or less, right?
Good point.
So GG West Ham on closing him down. He did have the assist, but at the same time, or it was technically an assist. He was touching the ball when Trent shot the ball. But in that same time, West Ham were able to shut him down. And I wonder if that's are people going to look into that for games coming up and see if what we can replicate on their side, or what teams can replicate on their side to kind of shut him down. The exclusion of Salah on this list is probably the most surprising part for me.
Yeah, fantastic observation. All right, let's move on to the next
question
part.
for you guys
go
before we move on. So you mentioned Tross taking up this false 9 role, meaning Gross is benched, Morpé is benched. Who do we think has pens from Brighton? Do you think Tross has them?
Lallana.
You think Lallana over Tross?
Has Lallana ever taken a pen for Liverpool?
Maybe in a penalty shootout?
Yeah, probably.
No, but that was just that.
I got a random shout. What about Lewis Dunk? He sometimes takes attacking free kicks. You never know.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Truss's goal
we
was
love
a pen.
center backs taking penalties.
What are we talking about? Truss's goal was a pen.
Oh yeah, it was. Oh, nice.
Quality
Great.
information here.
Good job. Good job. That bears kicking in.
I'm like now
clearly.
thinking
Full
he won the
circle, yeah,
penalty.
full circle.
Wait, he scored the penalty, right?
Well done, well done. You can tell how much football we actually watch on the Banner Boys.
Good job, guys. Good job.
All right. Next segment, accurate crosses into the box. So highest number was 3 this game week by T. Bebe, Reece James, Matthias Jensen, Lamptey of Brighton, and James Ward-Prowse. Then the next number is 2 accurate crosses into the box. A bit of a long list here. Stuart Dallas of Leeds, Conor Gallagher from Crystal Palace, Demarai Gray from Everton, Jordan Henderson of Liverpool, Chuko? I don't know. Hernandez guy from Watford. And Luke Shaw from Manchester United. Tavares, the guy who kind of replaced Kieran Tierney at Arsenal's left back position. And Tomiyasu, the right back from Arsenal. Ross, anything stand out for you?
Nice to see Tarek Lamptey up there. Like, first start of the season after a bit of a very, injury, came back and then got injured big time again. So good to see Tarek Lamptey there. The first one's obviously also set piece heavy as well, right? I think Reas is also on set pieces now more frequently too.
Every now and then.
So,
but Chilwell tends to dominate the corners, I think.
Yeah. I don't know about Lamptey, but JWP, Jensen, Reas, and TA are all the dead ball situation, right? And Lamptey, I don't think takes corners. So maybe that there's more value in there in terms of play or in terms of opportunity. So.
All right, Ryan, anything stand out for you?
No, I'm just happy to see JWP back on his list. That's it, really.
Yeah, the one thing for me is that Jordan Henderson is now back on the ghosties. I think since Fabinho has come back into that CDM position. So, Raas, you might be able to better comment on this, right? How Jordan Henderson plays as a CDM versus one of the 2 number 8s, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. I think the main thing is, and you kind of see it immediately, and you saw it against West Ham, was that he tended to dominate that right-hand side, and he was way more advanced than he usually is, kind of taking Trent's spot over there, right? Trent was a bit deeper in a lot of these situations, and Henderson was a lot higher up. So I think because of that, and having someone like Fabinho, who's known as the person who cleans up, gives the freedom to that. But I'm not fully sold on this midfield yet, because what I'm really seeing is the lack of transition play from our midfielders, right? We do play a lot of direct football in which the impact of Virgil van Dijk and Jordan Henderson's kind of ability to kind of ping the balls up, but at the same time we don't have that transition from midfield to defense to forward line that kind of someone like Genie provided, right? Just even if he did pass the ball a lot, his ability to kind of retain and control the ball was very impactful, and I think that's kind of the big thing that we're kind of missing here. Yeah, okay, Henderson's great, ability to kind of pick up crosses and stuff. They've still been pretty iffy this season from what I've eye test wise, right? In terms of he'll get if you cross the ball enough, you'll get a few on target eventually. But at the same time, I'm not fully sold on this midfield.
I pulled up Brighton's game on SofaScore, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think is their furthest forward player?
Tarek Lamptey.
Yeah, it's Lamptey. What the actual guys?
Ross, this isn't part of the pub quiz, okay?
Can you guys see this?
Damn.
Oh wow, that's crazy. That's insane.
I'm not surprised though.
Did he play a full 90 minutes, by the way?
No. He got subbed off early-ish.
Okay.
75.
Okay.
But
Yeah. So still managing
this is
him a
what
bit.
they were saying
Yeah.
the lineup was. It wasn't a back 5. It was actually he was playing as a winger.
Oh wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, formations are very, very funny, right?
Yeah, for
they
sure.
tend to kind of change during the game and
game by
in
game.
different phases of the game, etc. Depending on what the situation is. But Yeah, that's very interesting to see Lamptey being out of position. All right, so finally we look at some random extra categories. And, we got this idea from Matt from Kent, one of the listeners from our Discord community, let's say. So, Zaha, 7 dispossessions. Tyrone Mings, 12 clearances. That was the highest. And right behind him, Johnson, 11 clearances. And then looking at aerials, Ivan Toney's up there again. Kind of like the new Christian Benteke, I want to say. So consistent at them. And next, the highest number of fouls conceded this game week was 6 by Norgard of Brentford as well. And then the highest number of fouls suffered was 6 by Andros Townsend. You boys have anything to say about that?
I mean, Ben Johnson's celebration. Did you kind of see like the
Bungra
throwback video? And then the Bungra, and then like he did the celebration last week when he scored. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, do you know the story behind
stats?
That? I know.
I think it was just that it was a video of him actually when he was like super young doing like dance to like a Bungra song, and then it went viral, and then he happens to score a goal, and he's kind of doing that same dance to kind of tribute to him being 12, 13 years old and, getting caught on camera. So.
Oh, that's pretty cute.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson comes from football royalty, right? I'm trying to remember his uncle or his dad was like he's coming from a footballing family.
Who?
Ben Johnson?
I
don't remember who.
Glenn?
Is Ben related to Glenn?
No, I don't think Ben's related to Glenn. That's racist.
How is that racist? What? You want me to say, is Ben related to Adam?
No. Let me look. I remember reading this. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, I'm definitely wrong. There's nothing on it.
We're wrong about so much so far.
I think his cousin is Ledley King.
Yeah, exactly. He's the cousin of former Tottenham player Ledley King and the nephew of former United and England fullback Paul Parker.
Damn.
Somewhat royalty. Yeah.
Somewhat.
I mean,
not
based on current
royalty.
form, it's not royalty at all, bro.
Yeah.
You really want to be associated with either one of those clubs right now?
Fair enough.
All right, okay. Enough of the data dump. Let's move on to our game week review. How we did in our leagues. Okay, so Ryan, I'll start with you. I know you boys are in the same league, so it'll be kind of a small, quick update, I think.
Yeah, I won again. I think 123 to 86. I beat Justin. Spurs defense came clutch for me, yo. I picked up Royale on the waiver. I picked up Christian Romero for free when I saw Doherty wasn't playing. I had both Doherty and Royale just in case. So, I mean, that clean sheet came in good. Nothing else to report, really. Jensen and Rafinha doing the business.
Yeah, one thing that stood out to me, though, Doherty coming on as a sub and getting 4.25 points in 18 minutes.
And he came in on Reg's side, right? Reguillon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That's, I as a Reguillon owner, was like, oh no, shit.
Ross, what about you? What's your update, mate?
I beat Achim. Achim had we were tied coming into. This is the conversation, right? So I'm out kind of doing some work, and then I see Ryan here's message me like, hey Ross, you good? And then the first thing I was like, who am I dropping? He was like, drop Thiago for Ox, because you and Achim are essentially tied. And I'm like, okay, I won't drop Thiago, but I have Konate as well, so I dropped Konate. And then I picked up Ox. And then we were tied. First 2 minutes, Alisson scores an OG who Achim has. And I'm like, cool. This is good. Trent has a goal and an assist. And I was good. I won through that. And I didn't have to drop Thiago there. In my other league, though, I was down by 30 going to the last game. I had Fornells and Trent and Thiago, to which Sanji and Ryan told me, bro, drop Thiago and you might be able to come back. And I was like, bro, I don't want to. I think he's once he's fit, he's gonna have such a huge impact. And I picked up Ox. I won. I didn't even need Thiago or Ox. I would have won just with Fornell's goal and assist and Trent's goal and assist. But, you know, Thiago had 4.5 points in 20 minutes and Ox had 4 points in 70 minutes. So I'm like, screw you guys. Obviously lost him on the waiver wire as well. So.
Are you serious? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You picked him up.
Zuban, man.
Pure jokes,
Oh,
yeah.
damn. One of the old banter boys, too, to boot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Oh, well.
My condolences. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, well. I picked up Charlie Taylor on the free agent list.
Nice.
Dropped Ox, picked up Charlie Taylor. So now my defense is looking like baller. I have Pinnock, Trent, Regulion, Charlie Taylor, Azpilicueta, Chaloba, who's in the D8, like defense or mid in our league, and Tierney. I have like 8 defenders. I need to fix that. But
That is unfair, yo.
yeah.
I mean, okay, if the way I kind of like to look at it sometimes is that if you lose a player that you used to own because you had to do a random pickup just to win a game week, right? And you end up getting someone else on the waiver. The way I like to look at it is, would you trade Thiago for Charlie Taylor?
Possibly, but I'm happy with Charlie Taylor. Like, I think, and I saw Burnley's upcoming fixtures and they look really good. They look like matchup by matchup, or like, you know, maybe I think there's like one like Manchester United game in there, which to be honest, like they can easily, you know, also like kind of handle if Manchester United keep playing the way they're playing. So in that sense, like I'm happy with Charlie Taylor. What I'm really trying to get, and I'm trying to convince Ben to trade Cancelo with me. He's like, bro, I won't do it. I'm like, bro, just like give me Cancelo, and then I'll have the top 3 defenders from like, you know, from the season so far. Trent, Pinnock, and Cancelo. By the way, Pinnock, I'm sure for many people, was a free agent pickup for me. I'm sure it was for you too, Ryan, right?
Yep, he was.
That is crazy. Okay, but who are you really offering to get Cancelo? Like,
my initial trade to him, I said I'll give him Saka or Rashford, depending if he wants a mid or forward, and any one of my defenders, not Trent, for Cancelo and anyone. Like he can give me some random ass player. I won't care. I just want Cancelo and Trent in my team. He's like, that's a good trade, but I won't do it. I thought of sending him being like, bro, I'll give you Rashford or Saka and Regulion for Cancelo or whoever. And like, I haven't offered him yet because I know he won't say yes. He really wants Patson Daka, but I'm not like he's with someone else right now. So, and he's not willing to trade. He's with Khayyam and Khayyam's not willing to trade him up. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I guess I'll just stick with not getting Cancelo, but.
Okay, sure. Daka scored 4 goals in a cup, but to be honest, I'm not that keen on rostering him. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Has he started since then?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so I don't know why managers would be too high on him. I'm pretty sure he's like free in my league. I feel like he is. I don't know. I'll have to look into that.
I think it's just a matter of like fixture lists coming up, right? But now even Harvey Barnes and Adam Lukman made their way back into the Leicester lineup. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's the update from me.
All right, so now let's move on to the Banter Boys update. So starting us off,
I have one more update.
What's up?
This is just because I played Kyle in our NFL fantasy league, and I beat Kyle by having one less player. Kyle had like 78 points. I had 85, but I wanted to say this just because we all know Kyle, and Kyle's in our fantasy Banter Boys league as well. So like, you know, rubbing the salt there as well.
Nice.
I mean, he had a rough start to the Fantrax League, like the EPL one, right? How is he doing now? Has he moved up the table? He rostered like half his squad was injured or something like that.
Yeah, he had it rough at the start. I think he's probably 9th now, and it's top 8 go through to knockouts. So he should make it back into the top 8 by season end.
Yeah, he said that's all he cares about, top 8.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about first, second, any of that biz. All right, cool. Now we can do our update for the Banner Boys in the community leagues. Starting us off with the DPL Community League. We got a win, 101 to 73 points. I'm not going to say 101.75. 0.75 doesn't matter when you win by that much, right? But stand-up performers for us. Tomoyasu, 18 points. Matthias Jensen, 20.5 points. JWP, 17 points. And we have the likes of, Charlie Taylor and Jordan Henderson on our bench as well. Now we're 5th place in that table on 19 points, 8 points behind the leader Andres himself. A couple things stood out to me from this league. There's a guy on a 7-loss streak at the moment. And Joe from the Draft Society podcast is currently on a 4-win streak. So kudos to him. And you know that Champions Cup that I was talking about, that I was like losing, I was in 5th place and there was no hope? Well, we got a win in that as well. We beat our opponent.
Nice.
He got 84.75 points. And now we are in 2nd place out of 6 teams. And the top 2 go through.
Nice.
But the interesting thing is that 1st place is on 18 points. But from 2nd to 5th are all on 12 points.
So you're actually second on points for?
I'm first on first on points for that lot of people. I'm not sure how much the 1st place actually has, but yeah, I mean, maybe look into that. And the person in last has 6 points, so a bit of a gap, but can't afford to slip up anymore. Basically,
Right.
No trades in that main Traore Triad league. There were some waivers that went through this game week, and I didn't place any waivers in either one of my leagues, but there were a few assets that I had my eyes on that I'm not sure if I lost my chance in drafting any of these guys, but I'm just going to call a few names. Frazier, Pulisic, Ben Davies, and Ziyech. Would either one of you be interested in him? And I mean, you've seen my roster, sent you it in the WhatsApp group and all that sort of stuff. I know listeners can't see it, but based on what you guys saw, do you think I maybe missed out on any of these grabs?
Maybe Pulisic. Only because like ZX has been fit this whole time and hasn't broken in the starting 11, especially in the Premier League. But Pulisic has been coming back from an injury, and like Tuchel's played with him before as well. So I feel like this might be, especially considering he doesn't know what his front 3 is either, right? Like what his strongest front 3 is with Lukaku out, with Mason Mount not up to form, right? So I think Pulisic might be able to kind of break into that, and Pulisic can play as a wing back in that back 3 system as well. So
yeah, I would say one of the Chelsea mids, Pulisic or Ziyech. I agree, Hakim hasn't broken into the squad, but it's Christmas period, and I think that tweet where it's 10 game weeks and 6 real weeks floating around. I think he has to play sometime over that period, right?
40 days and 10 game weeks. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's insane.
Oh man, Christmas is gonna come early then.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so moving on to our next league, the International Genie League. We are part of the Sunday League. We also got a win there, 115.75 to 72.5. Standout performers, TAA, 26.25 points. We also doubled down here on Matthias Jensen and JWP. Currently sitting in 3rd place on 21 points, 6 points behind the leader. Couple of interesting streaks. The guy in 1st place, 4-win streak, and the guy who I beat is currently in last place with an 8-loss streak.
Ouch.
So now, if you were in like one of those losing streaks, what would be your advice to this manager? What do you think is the best way to get out of that?
Man, it depends like kind of how unlucky you've also been, because sometimes you've just been really unlucky and that's just part of the game, right? So like if you're getting destroyed every week, then like you have to like do an overall team haul. But like if it's like, you know, losing by 10, 15 points, that's nothing. In terms of 11 players, right? That's maybe a point a player. So like, you know, that's still like reachable in that sense. So I don't know. Like it really kind of depends on what your losses have been. If you've been kind of getting smashed every week, and if you have like the lowest points for, so then you need to kind of like, you know, drop some players, like, you know, let go of some players that you might have thought would have been like, you know, like if you're on 8 winning streak and you have players like Ziyech or Sterling or like, you know, Pulisic even, maybe drop a couple of them only because you need starting players who are getting you points now rather than might get you points in the future.
Yeah. I think something like Pascal Gross is kind of too rotation prone now to hold on to if you're in that kind of position, losing. But do show patience on players like JWP who are proven assets, and he seems to have now been coming back into it, right? So it's tricky because especially if you drafted a lot of those players early on, you will be in a bad position, but some you do have to hold on to and some you should probably get rid of as soon as.
So one of the players that got waived in our league, in that IGL community league, was James Madison. So he's had a very shitty season so far. What would you do if you were an owner?
Well, Tielemans is out for 3 weeks, right?
Yep.
3 weeks? 4 weeks, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Maybe James Madison takes more control of the ball in the attacking play in this scenario. So
buy low for a little bit then.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
Right? Or hold on and then sell high.
agreed.
Hopefully.
All right. So moving on to our final league, the Perfect 11. So it seems that they kind of only cared about who came top 10 up to this point. So I believe they're breaking it up into like mini seasons in a sense. And we fell short, unfortunately. Ended up in 14th place out of like maybe 200 plus teams, I want to say. Like we were like, what, 43 points behind the mark? Ryan, you did pretty well as well for this debut season in Perfect 11. How did you fare?
Yeah, I think I ended up 35th or something around there. And I mean, it is fun, and I definitely won't forget to like set my team now, because it's becoming more and more second nature to me. But yeah, I think not setting my team cost me a good bit early on.
Yeah, definitely. And having an incomplete squad also doesn't register you points,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So there's that. Okay, perfect. Now, boys, I think we can take our halftime pint, and when we come back, we will run through some questions and a fun pub quiz. See you in a bit. And we are back. Okay, now we're gonna run through those Twitter questions. And for this episode, we asked for some non-Fantrax questions. So if you don't hear your question on this episode, we are gonna push it to the next episode where we're back to serious business. We just wanted to have a little fun during the international break. Ross, kick us off.
Yeah, we just want a little break from like fan tracks and fantasy football in general. Like, see what else there's more to life, have some fun, like, get to know us that's not fantasy related. So yeah. All right, so the first question we have is from FPL Draft Boys. What movie sequel is better than the original? And then second question is, Curb Your Enthusiasm is better than Seinfeld. Can you prove me wrong?
Okay.
The Dark Knight is better than Batman Begins.
Oh, for
there
sure.
you go. Sequel's much, much, much better than the original.
For some reason, the one that comes to mind for me is Two Towers, Lord of the Rings versus The Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah, that's fair. Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think The Return of the King is probably the best Lord of the Rings movie, isn't it? That's the one that won all the awards, right?
Yeah, it did for sure. It had an epic battle, but I mean, unless you saw the extended version, like, I don't know.
I've seen the extended version, yeah.
Yeah. But for some reason, I don't know. Two Towers was just like a different level for me. I don't know. Maybe I need to rewatch
guess
it,
More story building, because I think like the actual page, like, it was mostly the battle that was The Last King.
Yeah.
Or Return of the King. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, next part of that was Curb Your Enthusiasm is better than Seinfeld. Can you prove me wrong?
So, I've never seen Curb Your Enthusiasm, but I love Seinfeld. Seinfeld was recently...
I see it on your screen now, Ryan.
You spotted that, yo. Seinfeld was recently added to Netflix in my region, so I've been like rewatching it. And I don't think I've ever watched it in order before, I just watched whatever episode is on TV. So it's good. It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some of
No soup for you.
yeah, that's great. Soup Nazi is fantastic. Some of like Jerry's stand-up definitely does not translate into like the 2000s, because he's talking about like cordless phones and how you can't slam them down, and it's like we've come so far.
I don't know. For me, like, Curb Your Enthusiasm is way drier, right? And I don't know if you also don't get like that sort of audience reaction. Like, I'm not saying Seinfeld has it. Like, he does have it like in the start and the end of the episode when he does his like little stand-up bits. But I don't know. I feel like not everyone can truly appreciate the humor that Curb Your Enthusiasm offers.
Yeah. I think for me, it's more like you're missing like Jerry Seinfeld's presence on Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like Larry David is fantastic and like he plays that role of Larry David so well, obviously. But like you're right, it's drier, but there's just like, you know, as you grow, like as you get older, obviously you'll start appreciating shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm because of like, you know, it's a bit more adult comedy and R-rated and stuff like that. But like Seinfeld's a show that you can watch like with your family and stuff and like not be like super like it's a show if like, you know, if my parents were just in the living room and it was on, it wouldn't be like, oh, gotta remove this, this won't be appropriate at all, so.
Oh man. All right, sweet. Thank you so much for the question at FPL Draft Boys Miley G. Listeners, if you play a lot of OFPL Draft, go listen to these boys. These boys are from Australia, trio just like us, and their chemistry is amazing. Go check them out.
All right. Yeah, thank you. Next question we have is from Robbie P. I guess they're both for Sanji. This is his tweet. These are both for Sanji, I guess. Sorry, Raas. It's okay. What's your favorite rum, Stormy or Swizzle? And what is the best and worst thing about living in London so far? Don't say the weather. Lol.
Okay, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I have no idea what either of those rums are. I honestly, maybe those are local rums here that I have not tried yet, so I apologize in advance. I mean, if I have to mention any kind of rum, it has to be rum from like back home. 1919 is the first one that kind of comes to mind. Ryan, what about you? You have any favorite rums?
Yeah, anything that's decently aged, like Angostura, so 1919, like you said, 1824. Mount Gay has decent aged rums. So does Appleton.
Totally.
So does Eldorado. So
yeah.
But I think
Mount Gay is a rum from Barbados.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Just for so people know.
Appleton, Appleton is Jamaica. Eldorado is Guyana. I think Stormy or Swizzle, I think it's like drinks. I think it's like a dark and stormy or a rum swizzle. But
oh, that makes sense because I saw one of those on the menu when I went for my first Sunday roast since I've been back. Oh, boys, Sunday roast. I mean, I used to knock like British food, but if you go to like a proper place, man, Sunday roast hits the spot when you're hungover that morning.
yeah, that looked good. You sent a pic of it.
Yeah, man, it was a pork belly. Ross, I'm sorry, it's not halal at all, but like it was amazing. And the best and worst things about living in London so far. I feel like, okay, I mean, it's only been like, what, a few weeks since I've been here, and I really haven't gotten a chance to explore the city properly because school has been busy fucking me up. But based on where I live, I would say one of the best things is walking past Wembley Football Stadium on my way to the tube and back. Like as soon as I get out the station, like I see Wembley Football Stadium right ahead. One of the worst things to mention, I'm not a big fan of how people freely litter sometimes, you know. I feel like there's more than enough garbage bins for people to use and people just sometimes don't give a fuck about those things. Yeah, you know, that would be one of my peeves, I would say.
That's fair.
Ross, you've been to England as well. I mean, not London specifically, but during your time, do you remember like any best or worst bits about it?
I was in England actually, I was in London. Well, Watford technically, which is like technically part of London, but also not part of London. Like it's pretty kind of on the outer edges. And to be honest, my favorite part of London is like the tube system, man. In like coming from Canada, coming from like even Toronto, whatever, KW, the tube system in London is by far the most efficient and most like, you know, like proper transport system that I've ever seen. And again, like I know people who actually would live in London would like hate on it all the time, but this is my perspective from a foreigner who's like, you know, Toronto, one of the biggest cities in the world, third biggest city in North America, has only 4 different subway lines, and that's baffling to me, right? Whereas the tube is like so interconnected. One's going this way, the other's going this way, one's going like this, all of these things, right? So like, that's kind of the best thing that, in terms of like city planning and like, just using the tube, that's pretty cool. Like, we could go from Watford to like central London in about 40 minutes. And that, like, that was crazy. The worst thing, I shouldn't mention it. Or like, this wasn't worse, but this is super unique. Like, in turn of an eye, it'd be raining and you'd have your like umbrella out, and then 2 minutes later, the sun's beaming on you and you need your sunglasses and you're wearing a sweater and you have to take off that sweater, and like, everyone's has a rain jacket and a coat and sunglasses on all at the same time. Like, it's super weird. It's not the worst thing, but it's totally different to kind of what we have here. So
I love that he said, don't say weather, and you still describe the weather.
I know. I don't like, in a week, what else can you kind of do it, right? Like, I didn't really get a chance to super explore the city as well, but yeah.
I mean, I got another too. I loved how multicultural the city is. Like, you're always hearing different languages about the place. Though, one of the worst things, though, I am struggling to find pepper sauce, and it is driving me up the fucking wall, yo. I need spice in my life. I know, right? I haven't had time to go to the market near Brixton, I think is where I'm supposed to go. Yo, she's honestly going to like Trinidad, and she was like, what do you want from home? I'm like, pepper sauce, duh.
True.
Like, True. She's actually staying up north as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay, Ryan, do you have any, like, have you visited London?
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever asked you.
I don't know. I like most big cities. I think, just the obvious, the weather is just grey. I absolutely hate how long getting into London takes if you're outside of London on a train. But I love the actual like atmosphere inside central London, like, or like around
Agreed.
like the theatre areas, the theatre district, or all the bars, all the pubs, that kind of thing. Yeah,
As the kids say these days, it's a vibe.
it's true.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
All right, Robbie, thanks for your question. Next one, Ross.
Yeah, next one we have from Draft Tash. Did you get around to watching all The Wire? What did you think of it?
Of course I did. What else was there to do during lockdown? I freaking love Omar. One of the best characters I've seen in a show, I think.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, man. Really was sad to see him leave this earth. But yeah, Ross, I mean, you are also a fan of The Wire. What did you think of that show?
Yeah. Like, I only saw it recently as well. Almost, like, I started back watching it like a few years back, but then like I completely forgot to finish it. But then I was like, I'm just going to watch it all in one go. And I think within like 2 or 3 weeks, I saw the whole thing. And yeah, man, it's incredible show. The intricacies of like the actual like universe building, like I was kind of reading these like articles and watching these videos afterwards, and it was like, people said this is the main character and Omar's the main character and stuff like that, but the main character is the city of Baltimore, and that's what's kind of captured in like the 5 seasons, right? Yeah, okay, the 5 season is a bit of a drop off compared to the other 4, but that show, incredible. Like, I remember when Breaking Bad was kind of coming up, like, this is the best show since like The Wire, and then I actually saw The Wire and I was like, this is so much better
100%.
like than Breaking Bad. Like, even like okay, like season 1 is probably as good as probably like the best season of Breaking Bad, and that's just my kind of like opinion. Don't kill me or don't put me on a stake because of that.
Don't at me, bro.
Don't at me, bro.
You guys are convincing me. I probably have to take in a season 1 now.
Yeah. What? You haven't
never
watched
watched
it,
it,
bro?
no.
Get on that shit. Get on that shit. Oh, all right. Next question.
Yeah, thanks for asking the question. Next question we have is from Draft Pie. What is the best type of cooked potato? French fries. Next question after that. Sorry. I mean, I can allow you to answer, but nothing beats French fries. So
Yeah, that's hard to argue against? I don't know. Ryan, do you have one? I can't think of anything better than French fries, really.
Fermented potatoes, vodka. I actually do not like vodka, so
Goddamn alcoholic.
no, but yeah, I could think of a bunch of potatoes that are great, but like, yeah, it just comes back to fries and like McDonald's fries, like those thin, crispy ones for me, just hit the spot. Like,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And like, I know Zuben living in Belgium loves his frites. You know, he will be like, bro, these are nothing compared to the fries that I have in Belgium. And I'm like, okay, bro, Zuben, we get it. You're in Belgium. But yeah, like, you know, I don't, even like French fries have like, you know, like a standard too. Like, you know, the Belgian fries are amazing. And then like McDonald's fries is for that cheap option and stuff like that. But
so
yeah, nothing beats better than French fries.
Kind of related. How do you guys feel about poutine?
I love poutine.
More gravy, more cheese. Gimme.
It. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, you know, the only thing you can make French fries better is putting cheese and gravy on it, and then you just made it like a million times better. Like, you know,
Nice.
100%. All right.
wait, Ryan? Because you lived in Canada for about 5-6 years. What is your thoughts on?
I love it, especially like loaded up with even more
okay.
meats. I know. Again, it's like not fully halal, but like the more meats, the better. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for asking a question. All right. Next question from at Cobb Chara and at Deller09 at Banta B. Who's gonna win the T20 World Cup?
I mean, my guess, and to be honest, I've not been keeping close eye on the performers because West Indies absolutely shat the bed. So it was quite painful to keep track of it. But while it was going on in the early stages, my prediction was Pakistan and England to make the final. And if I had to pick one to win it, sorry, English listeners, I'm going to pick Pakistan.
That's
Ryan, you've been playing fantasy for the T20 World Cup. How's that going and what are your predictions?
so. Out of the last 4 games, I forgot 3 of them. So I was climbing back in the ranks because, like, towards the end of the first phase, you have all your transfers stored up. You just spend them all and you make ground up. But I ended up burning a couple of transfers because I forgot. Anyway, my thoughts. I agree with you. It's Pakistan and England look like the best informed teams. I would really like New Zealand to upset England though. So it'll be like a Pakistan-New Zealand final. And that would be fantastic. I mean,
if it came to that, I might kind of want New Zealand to win just because I feel like they've had zero luck in tournaments recently.
Yeah, but I would back either side. Like, I would watch that game willingly and not be disappointed if either one of them win.
And Raas, I'm pretty sure who your answer is going to be.
Yeah, you know, my heart bleeds green. I'm sorry. They've been playing really well. This looks like a different group of boys that we've had for a really long time. That captaincy, that coaching, like that whole culture seems to be a bit of shift from what we've had in the past. I'm really looking forward to kind of the Australia game and hopefully the finals, right? So yeah, go Pakistan.
Nice.
Sweet.
All right. So next question, is from at Deller Dominic Heller. Which player has the best name in the Prem? Flashbacks of Prime Jumba Jumba.
Okay, so I remember one of the maniacs, Mohit, dropping this stat last season when Ola Aina was in the league, and he was like, on a vowel by number of letter percentage, Ola Aina tops the league. He has 71% of his 7 letters, so 5 out of his 7 letters for his full name are vowels. And I was just like, wow, that's an amazing stat.
That is quite a stat.
Like, think about it. This man has 7 letters in
and
his
can't
name.
beat that, right?
5 are vowels.
I think for me, I mean, sorry to steal the easiest answer, but Danny Drinkwater. Drink Pani, bro. Like,
yeah.
What's a better name than that? Like, come on, man.
Yeah. I couldn't think of one, to be honest. I was like, man, like, there's, like, you know, I couldn't think of one. Like, I'm sorry, you know. I think Ola Aina and Danny Drinkwater are 2 solid suggestions as well.
You're not gonna laugh at David Seaman?
Current players, right?
Yeah. No, I couldn't think of any other ones either. What about Alfonso Areola? No? Oh wow, you guys are so nice in this pod, man. I thought we got at least like one dirty laugh out of that.
Last season I would have said he's a tit, but like he has not played a minute this season. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to find good ones, to be honest. Yeah. Anyways.
All right. Okay. Next question, I think, is also from Dominic Keller. Best pint to enjoy during a match. He personally likes Miller Lite because of his American bias.
Ryan, what would you say? I mean, the thing is, most of my football games I've watched back home. So if I have a beastly cold stag, I'm happy. I'm quite happy.
So I like to drink light beers when I'm going to be drinking for a longer period, and a match usually is followed by another match on a Saturday or Sunday, and it's a good few hours, right? That's like 3-4 hours of your day. So I don't want a heavy beer just weigh me down. So I prefer a light beer. I get why he says Miller Lite. Yeah, I don't know, Carey Pilsner back home.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think when I went to my last football game here, I had a Singer.
Oh, yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah, that was pretty good as well. Decent pints of that.
Nice. I like Sapporo.
Chelsea beer.
Yeah. Raas, what about you? Any beer for you, buddy?
Water.
That is a solid beer too.
Yeah, I know.
I do have a follow-up question though. Andres this past week asked us if we drink water, but there's no context to that question. I was like, Andres, if you're listening, I'm more kind of like on the edge on like, what is this leading up to? Like, what long like running joke are you gonna kind of, what punchline is it? You asked us like, if we drink water, and like there's nothing from Andres after that. So
bro, I thought he was asking if Danny drink water as an asset again.
Yeah, me too.
I was honestly questioning his fantasy acumen. Like, oh man. All right.
Yeah.
Next question.
What meal should I learn to cook? And this question's from at J25step. I like cooking, so don't say something like spaghetti bolognese or something boring. And this was triggered by last week's pod hearing you about getting curries on the go.
Yeah, I think Ryan had asked me what kind of curry I had made. I was like, aloo chana and potato.
Nice.
So, I've got an interesting recipe that I can run through really, really quickly, and it's one that I haven't made in a while, and I plan to in the coming weeks. It's baigan choka.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so it's really, really quick. I'm going to run through this real quick for Jacob. But the idea is roasting an eggplant whole over an open fire, all right? And what you do is you're going to take cloves of garlic and thinly slice them and stuff the eggplant. And after you've stuffed the eggplant all over the eggplant, like make little slits and stuff and stuff the garlic in, coat it in a little bit of oil, roast it on an open flame, and once it's gotten a little soft, you scoop all of it out. Take some thinly sliced onions, sprinkle that on top, roast a little pepper on the side as well, mash that up with some garlic and salt, make a little peppery paste, add that to the entire mix. And then what you're going to do is take some oil and heat it really, really, really hot until it's smoky, and then pour that over the entire mixture and mix it really, really quickly. Now, if none of that makes sense, slide into my DMs and I will give you a better description of how to make baigan choka. But it's basically a roasted vegetarian dip that you can eat with pita bread.
And for people who don't know what a baigan is, that's an eggplant or melanjan. So yeah, Sanchez saying slide into his DMs and ask about eggplants, guys. That is definitely what he's saying.
I totally meant it.
That's a solid recipe though. Yeah.
I can't beat that. I mean, I have my own, but it's more like summertime. I feel like this is also summertime because you're cooking it over. But if you're cooking of like a dip, I feel like I just perfected like bihari boti. So it's like, for those who don't know what it is, it's like tender beef cubes that or like beef cubes that are kind of tenderized and kind of cooked over like coal fire. And like, you put the spices and you put like meat tenderizer, yogurt, crispy like fried onions, like the ones you buy from like a desi store, that you just put a bunch of those in, and then you just let it marinate with meat tenderizer for at least like 6 to 8 hours, and then you like put it on a like, what are those, the skewers. You put it on skewers and you just cook them over fire, like, and you don't even have to like go super deep into like what spices to put if you buy those like prepackaged spices as well. Like the whole point is that it's supposed to be very savory and salty, and like the taste, and the best taste comes from those prepackaged like spice packets. And then the only extra things that you would kind of put is yogurt, meat tenderizer, or like papaya powder if you have like ground papaya, and like the fried crispy onions, and like mix it all together, leave it for like 6 to 8 hours. And my God, like, and you like, when you like put them on a skewer, you put them as close as possible, so like they kind of blend into like this one whole giant boti. So I don't know if all that makes sense, but
Okay, first of all, I didn't even know papaya came in a powder. What the fuck? Like,
yeah, as meat tenderizer.
Shit.
I did not
I
know
didn't
that. How do you spell that recipe, by the way, just for non-desi folk like me?
B-I-H. You're Desi. Both of you are Desi. What are you guys talking about? But it is a beef dish, so I can understand. Okay, so it's Bihari. It's a region in South Asia, and I guess that's where the kind of the dish comes from. So
Nice.
Lovely. Ryan, pressure's on, boy.
I genuinely have nothing coming to mind. I mean, my favorite local thing is probably stew chicken, macaroni pie, and kalaloo. I cannot make kalaloo, so I don't even know how to start there. But
Well,
yeah, go for it. What?
well, at least we've given him a new recipe name. You can Google how to make kalaloo.
Yeah, for sure,
It's a local soup dish,
Yep. All right.
But yeah,
Man, I'm hungry.
hopefully we got you hungry enough that you are gonna go cook all of these and let us know how
Oh,
they
for
are.
sure. That would be amazing. Take pictures.
Now my mouth is watering. I can't wait for the first Banter Boys potluck.
Yo, that'd be sick.
Doubles
Oh, man.
as like the first thing, obviously.
100%. Did I make
Um,
doubles for you last time I was in Canada? Were you there?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You did. Yeah.
Yeah,
We had the whole
yeah.
potluck and stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, thanks for your question, Jacob. Next question we have is from our favorite Andreas at Moosey22, and I will fight you on this, Andreas, because he asks why beans taste better than lentils, and there's nothing like, you can't beat dal, bro. The comfort of dal and lentils is like, like beyond comparison, man. Like the soup, like, it's cold outside and you have like, warm dal to kind of just, like with like hot rice. Wow. It's very simple, and it's something that you eat when you were like, 8-9 years old, and you'd be like, yeah, just eat it. And now, like, sometimes you just like crave rice and like brothy lentils, dal. So
I mean, I will
Yeah.
say though, I know of a really, really good soup sort of recipe with red beans, like kidney beans or whatever. It's rajma. I don't know if you've ever had that as well, Ross.
yeah, rajma's pretty good.
Yeah, but I agree. Like, nothing can beat a dal, It's
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like, when Andres asked this question in our league chat, all of a sudden it went into a full-fledged discussion of lentils, and one of them even made dal tonight for dinner. So shout out to you, Robbie P. The dish looked
Yeah.
lovely.
That looks sick.
The dish
Yeah,
looked
it
really good,
did.
man. As good as my mom's.
So I don't know. I feel like I go through phases. I don't want to say phases, but it's like if I eat too much beans, I crave a slight difference on lentils.
You fart?
So, I mean,
Oh, okay. I thought that's
but
where
like,
I
you
was
can also
gonna
eat
go.
too much lentils and just want beans too. I mean, I love both.
Ah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I guess it's a cultural thing. Like, we didn't really eat that many beans, but I feel like Andres, like, maybe like, in Colombia they eat a lot more beans than
True.
lentils, so maybe it's a cultural thing.
Yeah,
You
true
know.
that.
Oh yeah, but yeah, thanks, Andres. I'm still holding out on why you asked that question about water. So please let us know. But yeah, last question is from at JWillDraft. Banta, you could chat about how it's difficult to accurately rate a fantasy asset if you hate his face, the way he looks, or if you just hate the way he acts or his theatrics. I have a good example for this. Saraya in our league does not want any United players on her team. And it's like a point, and I'm like, for me, I'm like, okay, all right, but like, you know, because she's a Liverpool fan, and like I think her like dad's also a pretty big Liverpool fan. It's like, sorry, no United players on my team, and I'm like, you know what? Kudos to that, you know, no United players, and you still have a pretty decent team. So
Yeah, remember when Ryan B used to play FPL back in the day?
Yeah.
He's a massive Arsenal fan, and back then when Gareth Bale was like the asset to own from Spurs, even when Harry Kane was up and coming, he refused to get any Spurs players just because of his, you know, association of Arsenal and his love for Arsenal and that sort of stuff. So it's not surprising, right? I mean, the first player that comes to mind though in terms of like theatrics and stuff is Wilf Zaha. Now, this guy loves to complain so much, right? And I mean, we've seen over the last few data dumps, he loves to lose the ball as well. So, I mean, do you think maybe that would kind of play into your mind a little bit in terms of drafting him as an asset?
maybe, I know people really hated like Suarez. And I wonder if like maybe staunch United supporters would not draft or put Suarez in their FPL teams because of like, not just like general United, like, you know, the thing that he had with, like, you know, especially with like Patrice Evra when, you know, there's the racist incidents there and like the, like, you know, Patrice Evra brought out a hand and he was kind of biting into it when they won the league and stuff. But also like, you know, his just general annoyingness as a player in like, you know, either he's too good or if he's not playing well, he starts diving and stuff. So
yeah, but I mean,
I wonder if Suarez was also one of those players. I personally love Suarez because of the Liverpool connection. Obviously, I can't hate on him.
yeah,
but,
and he was,
you know,
insane that season. Like,
exactly.
but I'm thinking of a few. So Bruno absolutely should be getting more yellow cards than he does. Whines,
Yeah, complains way too much.
Yeah, whines and complains way too much. But you can't. Like, he's obviously one of the best possible picks, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Annoying.
Yeah.
Annoying as it is.
I'm thinking Diego Costa back when he was in the league. Absolutely hated him in terms of how he was as an athlete and his think tactics, but he got results and he was on form for Chelsea for so long, right?
At least in the first half of the season.
Yeah.
Second half, he would drop off hard, but
Yeah.
first half, he'd like have 15 goals and you'd be like, bro, he's going to break all the records. And then he just shit the bed second half of the season.
In terms of how someone looks, I can't recall anyone definitely turning me off based on looks alone. But I do remember Auba's newest haircut. And I was just like, dude, what is that?
It was as bad as his Ghost Points return.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah. It was like Gervinho 2.0. It was pretty bad.
That forehead, you can't beat that forehead, bro.
That's true.
That forehead was like synonymous with like just heading the ball straight into the net, man.
I mean, he didn't, but yeah.
He didn't. Yeah, exactly. You think he'd be like that.
What about Harry Maguire?
I knew he was going to come up. I knew it.
He's got a special place in my heart, you know?
That GIF is the best to this day. Yep, the fingers. For those who don't know,
I gotta send Raas that one. I don't think he knows about it.
I think you have to tweet it now.
I don't think I do. I thought you were talking about the one where he runs around the circle and like, you know, gives it back to Chelsea. But
I'm glad you brought it up.
What about like Phil Jones in that sense? You know, like, you know, the facial expressions alone should get you points.
I am dying for
or
the
negative
comeback of Phil
points.
Jones this season, yo.
Oh man! All right.
I was ready when their injury concerns come. I was like, man, I'm waiting for Phil Jones to start.
Yeah, I can't think of any other players to be honest. Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of it for the questions. Thank you all for
thank you so much for all those questions. That was great, man. Like really, really enjoyed it. I mean, we'd love to get more of those, you know, not as many as we got today, but, you know, a couple, you know, here and there silly questions to go with our serious biz. You know, it really does add spice to the pod. Okay. All right, let's move on to our pub quiz, boys.
Let's do it.
Because Raas has to run off for his movie. All right, so we are gonna play ABBA style, if I can even keep track of it. But let's see how this goes. So our first question is related to goalkeepers and how many saves they've made for this season so far. So in first place, we have Krul with 40 saves. And then Schmeichel in second with 39 saves. Who is in third place on 38 saves? Ross, I'll let you go first.
Hugo Lloris.
Wrong.
Damn.
Shit.
I feel like it would be silly to pick a keeper that hasn't played every single game week, but friggin' Ramsdale.
Nope. The answer is Ian Mezier.
Oh
on
yeah, okay,
38
okay, of
saves.
course.
Of course.
Leads
Of
us so
course.
leaky.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. All right. Next, and this one is quite difficult, and I apologize in advance for, but we are looking at aerials. So if you look at the top 12 outfielders for aerials 1, there is only one midfielder in that set, and he sits at 12th place. Who is that midfielder? Ryan?
Oh man. Defender or forward, I could have guessed. Midfielder.
And I'll give you the number, 32 aerials,
So that's a little bit too.
if that really helps.
That's like half of what the first person is.
It's going to blow your mind. It did when I saw it.
Mid.
I really hope this is right.
So, okay. Okay, I'll go with Stuart Dallas.
Wrong. Ross? I don't think either one of you are going to get this, to be honest.
I did have a player in mind, but you said this person is pretty short, or you said you
He
were
was blown
blown
away,
away
yeah.
by this player.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But I think it's Rodri from Manchester
Ooh,
City.
good shout.
Ooh, that is a really good shout. Okay, so the answer actually is Lucas Moura.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Alright.
Alright.
Blew my mind when I saw that. All right, so it's still 0-0. We'll move on to the third question. Ross, and this is to you. Easy one. Who has the most blocked shots in the league so far?
is that easy?
With 19.
How is that easy?
I know this. It's a Brighton player. It is Lewis Dunk.
Wrong, right?
So you said it's a Brighton player with so much certainty. I'm just gonna go for the next Brighton player. But I'm thinking if I want to go for Verge. But I'll go with Liverpool. Haven't conceded that many shots, have they? No way.
I mean, you're wrong, along the right track if you're thinking of that, you know?
Yo, Rudiger.
What?
I don't know.
I take offense.
Chelsea with defense is
It's-
bad.
I don't know. For the season, I would say it's, a Burnley player, Tarkowski.
Okay.
With 19.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so-
Wrong B team.
I'm surprised
Yeah,
you didn't even
shit.
try, bend me,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Well,
I
he
would have
was
been
out
like,
for
you
COVID.
yeah, sort of thing. I would have given you half a
I'm-
point, All right, so the fourth question, Ryan, this is to you. So, most successful dribbles in the league so far. First place, we have Adama Traore, 56. Second place, ASM, 45. Who's in third place with 31?
I'm gonna have to guess Rafinha, but I have no clue.
That's wrong.
Yeah, I didn't think.
Oh, damn. Okay, thank you for... I was also going to guess Rafinha first. But, Salah.
That is also wrong. Man, I felt
Do
like I
not
made these
say it's
questions
Max
way too
Aarons,
hard.
That would just piss me
Nope.
off.
It's another Burnley player, Dwight
Oh
McNeil.
shit!
31
Oh my
successful
God.
Wow.
dribbles. Yeah. Coming down to the final question. I only have one tiebreaker, FYI, so someone please get this right. We're looking at fouls suffered in the league. There's a tie for first place with 31 fouls suffered. One player is Wilf Zaha. Who's the other one? Ross?
It's my turn?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to go with the obvious answer, but maybe it is. But he hasn't played that much, but I'll still go with it. I'll stick with Jack Grealish.
That's wrong. Ryan?
So
Your chance to steal it.
that's hard.
Yeah, man. Hard questions.
Yeah, Andrew Townsend.
The answer is Ismail Sarr.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I have to use my tiebreaker and I don't have more than this. So I'm going to have to give you a clue for this question. So I'll let both of you give your answers. All right.
Sure.
So this player has conceded the most fouls in the league so far, 26. And he is from Watford. Name that player.
It's me first, isn't it?
Yep.
Kuka.
Ross?
Is it Femenia?
No, it's Dennis. Guys, come
What
on.
the
Like, no,
How is Dennis
no, I
Paul?
gotta-
God, bro.
No, I gotta actually go dive in for another question. Okay. All right. Let's make things a little easier, shall we? All right. So when we look at key passes in the league, all right, let's look at defenders. Okay. So the top defender for key passes, obviously, T-Baby. You know, that's no surprise. Then in second place, we have Luke Shaw.
Sure.
23 key passes. Trent has 30 so far for the season. Who is in third place right now?
God.
Ross?
So my toss-up is either between Cancelo or Pinnock. I'm gonna go with Cancelo.
That's wrong. Ryan?
Yeah, I need some time with this one because no Chelsea asset has played that consistently. No Arsenal asset has played that consistently. Tomiyasu doesn't get key passes. Jeez, I knew this, you know. It was surprising. I'm gonna guess. Matt Ritchie's a mid, right? So it's not Ritchie. Oh man. Femenia.
Nope. Luca Dean
Oh,
with
come on.
18 key passes. Guys, do you want to
Boy
keep
barely
going?
gets any points.
Yeah.
I
know.
mean, let's
I
do
know.
one more question.
One more question. Okay, let me make this even easier. Okay, so we're looking at
Luca Dean was not
outfielders.
easy.
That's like us guessing from last year's stats. Like,
So we're looking at outfielders, all right? And who tops for assists? Mo Salah in first place with 8 assists. Paul Pogba with 7 assists. Who's in third place with 6 assists? Ryan?
is it me? It really is me. Huh.
Yeah, I'll let you both give your answers and then I'll tell you who's right, who's wrong.
Shit, I should know this. I really should know this. Gosh, my head's just not in this game. Oh my god. I'm gonna go with Jesus, but it's not Jesus.
Oh, that's a close guess. Jesus is in fourth.
Yeah, freak.
Tied with Kovacic, actually, 5 assists. Ross, you can steal this. Who has the third most assists in the league so far?
Man, I swear to God, I saw a graphic not so long ago. It was like Mo Salah, you know. Salah has the most goals and Salah has the most assists and stuff, right? And then, like, you know, Pogba was second. And I swear to God, and like I was like, oh, Trent is fourth, or has 4 assists, and I was like, shit. And then who has 6? And I wanna say, oh, Abdullah Doucouré also has 4.
I think it's that club.
I don't think so. Then I'm gonna go. Fuck, man, should know this. Cancelo just had 2 assists in the past season, in the past game week, but hasn't been doing that anything before. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Reece James.
Nope. Jared Bowen of West Ham.
Oh shit! So Dennis is where?
He had 2 this past game.
Where's Dennis?
Yeah. Dennis is in 15th place with 3 assists.
Oh, okay. He got 3 in that game, and that was it. Or is
Yeah.
it 2?
I mean, these are fantasy assists as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So,
where?
guys, it's still 0-0. What are we doing? Are we going one more?
Do you have one more?
I can pull up one more if you want.
I don't mind one more.
I know we said one more last time, but Ryan, I'll leave it up to you
okay,
because
fine.
I
One
said
more.
it short.
We
One
each
more.
get one more, and that's it.
One more. Okay.
All right. Oh, man. You guys are making this tough, man. Okay. So, for tackles won in the league so far, first place is Højbjerg, 21 tackles won, right? Now there's a tie for second place between two players. One, Sean Longstaff. Name the other player.
I'm never gonna get this.
Yeah, the man's giving us like so much. Yeah, it's me first, I think. But so specific. But tackles won. Can you tell us position at least?
Central defensive midfielder, I would say.
Central defensive midfielder, you'd say. Tackles won. Central defensive midfielder.
He's played nearly every game this season.
Damn it, that's not helpful. Nearly every game.
Okay, he's played every game this season.
Nearly every minute.
Nearly every minute, yeah.
Means he was subbed. Huh.
Yeah, I don't know why John McGinn was coming to my mind.
He's
But-
got 9 key passes and 2 assists for the season as well.
What? Okay, Westwood. I have to go with Westwood.
Ross?
I'm gonna go with John McGinn.
Oh my god. Alan from Everton.
Goodness. Yeah.
Okay. What do we do?
Yeah, let's
One
give
more
up.
vote
time.
winner.
Let's save some. Let's.
You wanna give
both
up?
losers? Let's be honest.
Yeah, okay, we suck. We're terrible podcasts. Don't listen to us. Goodbye. Good night, you know. I mean, the questions were very, very hard, I'll admit, right? I could have probably made them much
Yeah.
easier, much more fun.
It was more about sharing the information.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was more about sharing the
Yeah,
information.
there you go. The fun's in the education, right? Okay, so that is all we had planned for this episode. Ross, I know you have to run off for your movie. Which movie are you going to go see tonight, buddy?
The
Oh,
Eternals.
sick.
Oh, wow. Okay, sweet. Nice. Enjoy that. Ryan, I hope you order some KFC for me as well, you know, and watch a little bit of Seinfeld as well. But other than that, boys, do you have any closing words before we sign off?
Nah, I gotta go bounce, bro. Let's
here
get
either.
bounce.
All right. Well, we'll see you on the next episode.
Peace.
Peace.